The top stories, from strangler to promising furniture maker, St. Philip man starts a new life after release from 2 decades in custody. Government's looking for a private sector company to run Harrison's Cave, and it's Barbados Pride, the new name of the national cricket team. Welcome to Nation News for Wednesday, November the 12th, 2014.
No matter where you are in the world, at home or abroad, Nation News keeps you connected with what's happening in Barbados through our website, video newscast, and online e-papers. So stay connected with Nation News. Your time, your way.
A St. Philip man who was convicted of strangling his sister to death 22 years ago has been released from the Psychiatric hospital where he'd been sentenced at Her Majesty's pleasure. People so sentenced are to be kept in custody until the authorities decide that it's safe to release them. Glenrick Gibbs was sentenced in July 1994 after he pleaded guilty to manslaughter on the grounds of diminished capacity. Gibbs's release followed a request from attorney Andrew Pilgrim that the sentence be reviewed since indefinite sentences had since been deemed unconstitutional. The matter was heard in the Court of Appeal by Chief Justice Marson Gibson, and Mr. Gibbs was declared a free man just after 10:30. During the hearing, staff at the Psychiatric hospital spoke highly of Gibbs and his capabilities as a furniture maker. Government wants to lease Harrison's Cave to a private company, in effect, to see if they can do a better job of making money for the country's most popular tourist attraction. The hunt for a business partner to run the cave was revealed in the Senate by Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Senator Eileen Sandiford Garner, who alerted the House to its reduced revenues and visitors. She was leading off debate on a resolution seeking approval of the compulsory acquisition of land adjacent to the cave for its redevelopment and to improve public access. More than 1 million people visit the cave each year, Senator Sandiford Garner said, but it does not make any money. This prompted an immediate call by independent Senator Professor Henry Fraser for a public inquiry into the operations of Caves of Barbados Limited, which runs the cave. Prime Minister Frandil Stewart says he's concerned that human resource managers often rank far below financial controllers in the workplace. He says this is the case even though HR directors deal with the country's most important resource, labor.
We still live in an age where business owners and proprietors accept and think and accept that it is easier to get and to get rid of human resources than it is to get rid of money. So since it is so easy to get rid of human resources, and since it is so easy to replace human resources, the human resource manager is not treated with the same level of seriousness and respect at the workplace as the financial controller.
Mr. Stewart spoke at a symposium hosted by the Human Resource Management Association, whose president, Glenda Jukes, was none too happy with the status of HR practitioners.
Although a few of us have made that quantum leap, many are still perceived as record keepers. Too often we are excluded from participating in high-level discussions on the strategic direction of our organizations, but are asked to communicate and execute such plans, particularly when it is believed that the reception will be unfavorable. We must fight to remain relevant and to be accepted at the highest level in the boardroom as strategic business partners.
Do you know where Cat's Castle is, or how to get to Lightfoot Lane? A plan to improve signage for motorists and pedestrians in Bridgetown has just started, which means that in time you might just be able to find these two areas in the city. Two bold signs for Probin Street have been affixed to the Republic Bank and Old National Insurance buildings to signal the start of the program. Another 80 signs will be placed in the first phase. The Transport Minister, Michael Lashley, spoke about the plan.
Good signage is important not only as a mechanism for road safety, but also to provide persons with suitable directions to various locations. My ministry will continue to partner with the Barbados World Heritage Committee to promote historic Bridgetown and its garrison. In recognizing the importance of this program, my ministry will be erecting 150 street signs throughout Bridgetown. The erection of these signs will assist tourists and locals in visiting many historic buildings.
The acting chief of the Town Planning Office has issued a vigorous defense against claims that it takes too long to process planning applications. Acting Chief Town Planner George Brown disputed reports that it takes 277 days to process applications. He said that between April and June this year, 86% of applications were processed in less than 90 days. In a speech to businessmen, Mr. Brown insisted that while there are still some challenges to his department, the pace of processing has improved. Students of the West Terrace Primary School have been given tips on the safe use of the internet. Cybersecurity specialist Dion Olton paid a visit to the school, and among the tips, he told the children not to disclose their names or ages to people online. The interactive session was hosted by the National Task Force on Crime Prevention, and it will be taken into other primary and secondary schools. In sport, in 2020 it's the Barbados Tridents, but for the new West Indies Professional Cricket League, the local team will be known as Barbados Pride. That's the name chosen by the local franchise in the league, which starts on Friday. Barbados Pride is a piggyback on the Pride of Barbados flower, which dominates the team's logo. The Pride, who are the current West Indies 4-day champions, play their first match against Trinidad and Tobago at the Queen's Park Oval. And finally, a British-born woman who had a child through IVF, a lab procedure, is engaged to the anonymous sperm donor she tracked down and later fell in love with. 45-year-old Amina Hart, an Australian woman born in London, only met her fiancé after she had given birth to their daughter Leela, it has been reported. She originally selected Scott Anderson, an Australian cattle farmer who lives on an island off the south coast of the country, from 5 possible sperm donors because she liked that he listed himself as happy and healthy. Amina discovered his identity through a series of internet searches. And that's Nation News for Wednesday. For more, log on to the newlooknationnews.com, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And get to Daily Nation on Thursday.